Hello, welcome to Poetry Changes Lives. You know, poetry comes in all kinds of forms, and today I've been thinking about Pope Francis. Well, you probably know he's extremely ill in hospital at the moment, and so a lot of stuff is being written about him at the moment. And I discovered two things that I only sort of vaguely knew about him before, but they're both things that make me think about him in a different light. And I must say, I rather like what I hear. The first of those two things is that he's very concerned about the environment and has been for a long time. In fact, 10 years ago, he wrote a papal encyclical. That's a sort of official papal utterance to the world, expressing his concern at the state of the world. And the points he made, two main points really. One is that everything in the world is connected. Whatever you or I do affects in some way or another everyone else in the world, and it affects the world and nature itself for that matter. And equally, whatever other people do affects us, and we need to be very aware of that. The second point he makes is that he considers the world in the light of a precious and beautiful gift from God. And I like to think of it in that way too. I see the world as a very, very beautiful gift from God. And everywhere I look in the world, I do find beauty of some kind. But I also worry because that beauty is often under threat. And so I'm very much of a like mind with Pope Francis on that one. The second thing I discovered about St. Pope Francis is that he's a great lover of poetry, and that's very much makes him a man after my own heart. And he has written a book about poetry that is being published this month. In fact, it's called Viva La Poesia, and I haven't yet found an English translation of it, but I gather that he talks about his love of poetry, certain poets in particular, such as Dante and Dostoyevsky, and English poets such as Gerard Manley Hopkins and G.K. Chesterton, the early 20th century Christian Catholic poet and writer, which is all very interesting. And Pope Francis has also written introductions to various anthologies of Christian poetry, and he says some very meaningful things, such as, I'll just quote a few words of his. A person who has lost the ability to dream lacks poetry, and life without poetry doesn't work. I think that's very true. And he also says, the words of other writers helped me to understand myself and the world and the people in it, and it even deepened my understanding of the human heart and my personal faith journey. I think that's very profound, sincere thinking and statement about the power of poetry to help us understand ourselves and the world around us. So I like his attitude, and it led me to inquire whether Pope Francis had written any poetry himself. And the answer seems to be no, but on the other hand, he's written a lot of words and statements that are very sort of close to poetry. They sound very poetic. And I'm going to read a piece that comes from that encyclical I spoke about at the beginning of this, Laudate Si, which are words taken from St. Francis of Assisi directly. And I think Pope Francis probably had St. Francis of Assisi in mind when he wrote these words himself. See what you think of this. I think they're really quite poetic. Praise be to you, my Lord, through our sister, Mother Earth, who sustains and governs us, and who produces various fruit with coloured flowers and herbs. Praise be to you, my Lord, through the rivers and seas, through the mountains and valleys, through every living thing that fills the earth with wonder. The world is more than a problem to be solved. It's a joyful mystery to be contemplated with gladness and praise. We are not disconnected from creation. We are dust of the earth. Our very bodies are made of her elements. We breathe her air and drink her water. Everything is connected. God has written a precious book whose letters are the multitude of created things present in the universe. Let us therefore sing as we go. May our struggles and our concern for this planet never take away the joy of our hope. I like that. I think that's beautiful. Very profound, very, very sincere and from the heart. Thank you, St. Francis. I wish you well in your struggles in hospital, and I will say a prayer for you. Thank you all for listening. Please wish St. Francis well, Sir Pope Francis well, and St. Francis, and spare a thought for them. Thank you.